Hey there, fans. It's Ross Jeffries here. I just thought I'd spontaneously pop on just to test out live streaming and have a little bit of fun. I want to talk today about mindset mastery for meeting women. I truly believe that so much of what you can accomplish in any area of life, but particularly in dealing with women and being successful with women, is your state of mind. What do you believe? What do you do with your energy? What is it that you're doing with your physiology? What is your attitude towards success? How do you define success? How do you define failure? So in this live stream, I just want to talk a little bit about those factors. And then after I'm done talking, I'll take your questions. I won't be looking at your questions while I talk about this. I think the first thing that you need to do when you set out to meet women is to take on what I call the learning frame. And the learning frame simply means that you're going to be oriented to the process. You're going to be oriented towards not necessarily getting the result, but towards learning what you need to learn to get the result that you want. So many times I see guys who are so intent on picking up a woman, they put so much pressure on themselves. It becomes such a difficult task that they just wind up driving themselves crazy. So a learning orientation, a process orientation, basically the attitude behind that is I'll either get what I want or I'll learn what I need to get what I want or better, and I'll enjoy both processes. Really important to take on that learning frame, that learning orientation. Second thing is to use the right kind of confidence. And I like to teach two things. I like to teach, number one, what I call compassion confidence. Sometimes when students come to me for coaching, what happens is that they view women as such alien creatures. They view women as being so apart from them, as being so different, that they get terrified. And what I want to tell you is that women may differ a bit in their psychology and bit in their plumbing, but they're basically subject to the same sufferings and the same laws that we are. By the way, if you would share this with your friends, if you're enjoying this broadcast, I'd be really appreciative of that. If you go ahead and share, that would mean a lot to me. Here's what I mean. I said to a student, "What were you wearing the day you were born?" And he said, "Nothing." I said, "What is a hot woman? What was she wearing the day she was born?" He says, "Nothing." I said, "That's right. And one day something's going to happen to you." And I said, "What is that?" He said, "I'm going to die." I said, "That's right. One day something's going to happen to that lady. What do you think that is?" And he said, "She's going to die." My message to all of you is that in between everything else, between taking that first breath and passing on, remember, whether someone's giving you what you want or frustrating you or confusing you, basically we're all on the same conditions. We're subject to the same pull of gravity, the same atmospheric pressure. Yeah, bang out a little love for me. So I want you to get this idea of compassion confidence. Shalom Sal, good to see you. Go ahead and share this. If you're enjoying it, share it with people. I really appreciate it. So that is something that I think is really, really important, to take on what I call compassion confidence. The next thing that I want to teach you is the idea that, it's the idea that each woman that you encounter is going to be a little bit different than the last one. You can't predict the exact results of what's going to happen. People have what I call the vending machine approach to success with women, meaning that they think if they put in their 50 cents of attraction and their 50 cents of challenge and their 50 cents of being funny and their 50 cents of being dominant, that out will come the candy bar of vagina. And it doesn't work that way. Women can be chaotic in their responses. So it's not something you're doing to them. It's a dance that you're doing with them. If that makes sense, then if that's making sense to you, could you just type 1 in the chat window? If that makes sense to you, would you type 1 in the chat window, please. Go ahead and share this broadcast as well, if you would. So, hello, Argentina. Hello, Dr. Art. Well, it's good to see all these fans and friends from all over. Thank you. So let me give you an idea of a metaphor. Let me give you a metaphor. And here's the metaphor. One time I was on an airplane, and through a series of events that I don't necessarily want to go through, I wound up talking to this woman who said she was an aerospace engineer. I said, "Oh, I'm also an aerospace engineer." She said, "Where did you get your PhD?" I said, No, you don't understand. Aerospace, space, E-R-O-S, space. I engineer the space between men and women so they come together. She said, "Wow." I said, "Imagine that there's a ball of pure potential, a ball of pure energy, and we're bouncing it back and forth between the two of us. I put in a little bit of curiosity, I bounce it over to you. You put in a little bit of playfulness, you bounce it back to me. Maybe I put in a little tiny bit of sexual energy, you catch it, and maybe you bounce in some skepticism. But over time, what happens is that ball grows so large that it's no longer something we're bouncing back and forth. It's so large, it's grown to fill the space between us, and now we both have our hands on it. The only thing that's standing in the way is just one breath, one beat of the heart, one moment. And suddenly that sphere surrounds the two of us. And it's just you and I and the energy between us. And the outside world goes away and that sphere is ours. So I want you guys to understand that's a really, really good metaphor. That it's a game, an exchange of energy, not something that you're doing to another human being. Another idea I want to give you about mindset is to take on the idea, if I'm not going to get what I want, what's the most outrageous thing that I can do that's not fattening, not illegal, and won't harm anyone? What's the most outrageous thing I can do that will at least bring me closer to being the kind of person who I want to be? What's the most outrageous thing? For example, let's say you're stuck in getting the phone number. Here's an outrageous approach you could take. An outrageous approach you could take is to say, it's been great meeting you, but my practice and policy is I don't give phone numbers to anyone unless I first find out how good, and look at her lips, a kisser she is. And then just move in and kiss her. If she turns her head away, gently turn it back and kiss her. You understand? Try that. Try being outrageous. So if you're not going to get what you want, what's the most outrageous behavior you can do that's not illegal, that's not fattening, that's not dangerous, that will at least take you closer, a step closer to the kind of person who you want to be? So share this video. Go ahead and let people know. Go ahead and share. If this is making sense so far and you're enjoying it, would you just please type 1 in the chat window? I'd really appreciate it. Can you type 1 in the chat window if you're enjoying this? And it's making sense. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Newt. Asaf. Shabbat Shalom, Asaf. Brendan, my loyal student and fan. Okay, so now I will take questions on any topic. So any topic you have for me, I will go ahead and take those questions. Shabbat Shalom, indeed. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap up this very brief broadcast. I just want to keep it very brief. Oh, here's a question I have for you guys. If I go back to doing this on a regular basis, if I go back to doing these live streams on a regular basis, there's my old roommate, Daryl Christoph. Daryl was my roommate back in the early 90s, I think. Good to see you. Good to see you, Daryl. In any event, I'm thinking, what day do you think would be best? What day would you enjoy if I did these once a week? I'm thinking if I did every Wednesday, noon Pacific time. What do you guys think? Every Wednesday, noon Pacific time. What day and what time do you think would be good? No. Okay. Well, here's what I'd like you to do. We're going to be posting this on my blog, and we'll be posting the recording, of course, on my Facebook page. And Wednesdays at noon are good for everyone all over. Hello, Lindsay. Lindsay, you may find these topics somewhat offensive, but Lindsay's a member of the same coaching program that I'm a member of. All right, so I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank everyone for joining, and you're going to see these done in a more professional way. I just want to jump on, say hello, and we will see you soon. By the way, just so you know, I will be doing a seminar March 11th and 12th in Los Angeles. It is the first and only one I'll be doing in North America because I'm concentrating on my persuasion and business teaching. So if you want to find out more about that seminar, March 11th and 12th, go to seduction.com and you'll see the thing for live learning. Just click on the live learning tab and there may be a banner up there as well. All right. Thanks, everyone. I really enjoyed talking to you spontaneously. We'll do our best to keep these more structured and focused. Bye now.